So, someone asked me last night in my live stream, he said, what is the one thing that you wish schools would teach but didn't? Or one thing you learned that schools didn't teach you, or blah, blah, blah. One thing you wish schools would teach but didn't, I guess, something along those lines, right? And I'm going to go ahead and and I answered him, and I'm going to tell you what it is, because I'm going to stress this is important enough. Because you're not going to learn this in school. You're not going to learn this. Hell, your parents might not even teach you this, okay? This is probably the number one thing I need for every young kid who watches my channel. And even if you're older, you know, and you probably, I don't care what age you are, but just this one thing. And if I can hopefully reach out to the young kids, man, I'm talking to anywhere from like my 12-year-olds all the way up to my 21s. Like, this is really who I want to understand this, and potentially, hopefully, even before 15s. Because if I can teach this now to you guys, I'm telling you, the possibilities you are going to unlock when you get older is ridiculous. Ready? One thing that I think one thing that I'm going to teach you that a school will not, is figure out who you are. Figure out what your essence is. What is your authenticity? What are you? Who did you come here as? What is the person that you are? That, I think, is the biggest. Most people, you ask them, who are you? They can't really describe it. You know, when you ask somebody, and I really got brought awareness to this when I saw kids who would do excellingly well in academics and school, and they were great. Someone asked them, describe yourself, or describe who you are to me. And they're like, I don't know how to answer that. Oh, we got red flags. Oh, we got red flags. If you don't know who you are, I don't care what grades you got. I don't care what scholarships you get. You're not gonna live a good life, because at the end of the day, you didn't find who you were. You didn't find your essence. Therefore, how can you live your best life if you're not living in closest proximity with your essence? You won't be living your best life. You won't be living really a life. You'll never really be satisfied. There'll always be something missing. Start finding out who you are, and start being real with yourself. And honestly, at the young age, this is what I think needs to be preached. It needs to be learned. It needs to be manifested. Who are you? What do you want to be? And when I say what do you want to be, not what career, not I want to be an actor, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a scientist. Okay, that's nice. But why are we getting kids to think about careers when they don't even know whether they who they are, man? If they don't know whether they're hard workers, whether they're inspirers, how can they figure these things out if they don't know whether they're more of a logical oriented thinker or an emotional oriented thinker? How are they supposed to know who they are if they don't understand, you know, the ways that they think, the ways that they learn? Are they more of a body oriented person, a mind? I mean, you know, how do they respond to certain situations in life? What works for them? What doesn't work for them? Like, they gotta learn these fucking things, man. What are they passionate about? What do they like? What interests them? Right? We need to get to that core and start finding out, what are you? What is your essence? Not the career you're gonna pick. The career you're gonna pick will hit you in the fucking face when you know who you are and you start trying things out that resonate with who you are. But how the hell can you try anything that resonates with who you are if you don't know who the hell you are? Exactly my fucking point. Moving on. You need to find out what you're made of. And through that, if you learn that, you're not going to have to pretend for anybody. You're not going to have to fit in. You're not going to have to try and live up to expectations of other people. Your life is not going to be about anybody else, except for those that you want it to be about. And in the essence that it is, that's kind of a different conversation. That's more about taking someone in as a part of you, right? Those are people you need to let in. But we're going to talk about that in a separate video. Which actually is probably a great topic for the next videos I do. You need to find out what you got, dog. Experiment. Go try things out. I just realized why the lens fucking retracted like that. I hit the zoom on it. That makes so much more sense. How was I even framed this whole time? Huh. Intriguing. But you got to find that within yourself, dude. You got to work. You got to live. You got to go out and try things. But most importantly is start with this. Just start with this. What do you like? Do you like rocks? Start going to play with rocks. Don't start getting caught up in, I'm an archaeologist and I like fossils. No. Just simply start with what you like. Do you like grass? Do you like wood? Do you like cars? What fascinates you? Are you someone who likes the abstract? Are you someone who likes the machinery? Are you an artist? Where's your essence lie? Great way to find these things out. Take some personality tests. It's, you know, they don't define the end all be all, but try them out and experiment and see what's happening. And here's the thing. The reason why I think it's so important you start learning who you are is because it's the sooner you can finally get out of the clamps and the weight of having to satisfy everybody else. Because when you realize that you can start doing things to satisfy yourself and who you are, you're not going to give a fuck about what anybody thinks. You're not going to give a fuck about what Johnny thinks about you liking comics. So fucking what? Yeah, I like comics. Comics are badass. Superheroes are fucking tight. Visual stories are my thing. You know? You're not going to give a fuck whether someone thinks you're an idiot because you're not an athlete. So what? Like, that's who you are. Who am I? You know, you do you. That's why I want you to learn your essence. And it takes time. This takes time. This does not take a day. This takes years to figure out, man. Really get in touch with that. And really get in tune with what you are and who you are. That, I feel, is the biggest gift you can give. That's the most important thing I think I can teach anybody. That a school will not. Find out who you are. Start manifesting it. Start living it. Stop giving a fuck what other people want from you. Stop giving a fuck. Don't start living your life trying to be who you are in this. Like, I'm being who I am, and then you're constructing it so everyone will like that because that's who you are. No. You know how you know you're being who you are? Because all of a sudden the people around you that you thought were your good friends start to leave. They start to leave your life. They start to stop talking to you. You start to wonder, well, what the fuck happened? I'm just being myself. Right. But the thing was, before you were yourself, those people fell in love. Those people were fucking with the person that you were before. That was trying to satisfy them. That was living life to satisfy them. But the moment you start living life to satisfy yourself, changes the dynamic of the relationship. So now they gotta go. But then you start to find people that's more like you. And you're more like them. That's why finding who you are is so important. Is that you radiate in authenticity and you start to manifest and live life through authenticity. In this fucked up world, that's what we need. We don't need to be pretending. We don't need to be putting smiles on people's faces. We don't need to be playing facades to let people see certain sides of us and we just don't give a fuck. We need to stop playing the game of the mask. We need to stop putting personas on and start having personalities. We need to stop having masks and start having bare faces. We need to stop wearing all the clothing and take it off. Let us be seen for what we are. Let us be real with who we are. That's more valuable than a fucking $1 million right there. That's $1 million worth of game to you right there. That's a Gilly the Kid thing right there too. I didn't want him to watch it like, you stole my bit. Nah. I just like it, so that's why I say it. But yeah, find out who you are and start expressing it out. You gotta live in that shit. You've got to explore the things about life that you like. And don't base this off of what people may like or won't like about you. Don't base this off of what's acceptable or what your parents will think or what your friends will think, what the girl across the classroom might think if you like this. Stop suppressing things that you like for in order to avoid other people's judgments, or in order to get other people to like you. You got to give this thing up. I'm telling you this, you give up something that you like in order to be like everybody else or to fit in with everybody else, or to I used to do this. Every time I was doing stuff and I realized people didn't like it, it wasn't the cool thing to do, I gave it up. And I realized I realize now I lost my essence trying to please other people. I realize now that I gave up learning and being who I was to please people who didn't give a shit about me. But had I stuck with it, not giving a fuck, and just did my thing, I think I would have had a much happier time. Rather than worrying about what everyone thought about me, I said, fuck it, I enjoy who I am. That's why I want you to find who you are. Because when you start living in who you are, you start living a better life, and you will find your life to be so incredible when you are authentic and real. Life is better when you start living it for yourself rather than when you're living it for others. Done. Done. Oh shit, I didn't even